There's a moment right in the middle of a conversation when you catch her eyes lingering on you, just a second longer than it should. That's not by accident, and you're not crazy for noticing it. The truth is, most guys completely overlook these moments and walk away wondering, did I just imagine that, or is there something more? But here's the secret. When a woman is secretly turned on by you but won't ever say it out loud, her body is already broadcasting messages you need to tune into. Today, we're diving into the 10 things she does when she's horny for you, but won't admit it. These aren't your average pickup tips or obvious signs any guy could see. No, these are coded cues rooted in psychology and timeless Stoic awareness. Once you see them, you can't unsee them. And the truth is, they'll change everything about how you understand female desire. Let's rewind for a second. You ever sit across from someone at a cafe, just chatting about regular life work, plans, that funny meme you just saw, and suddenly you realize she's locked in, her gaze holding yours for just a breath longer than normal? Maybe you catch a micro-expression, a tiny smirk at the corner of her mouth, her pupils widening, a fresh softness filling her face. That's sign number one. Her eyes are carrying the secret she'll never speak. It's not just that she looks at you, it's how she does it. That prolonged, heavy eye contact is her subconscious trying to connect. You'll even catch her eyes drifting down to your lips, sliding to your shoulders, then darting back up. Almost as if her mind is picturing something that hasn't happened yet. Here's what nobody tells you. Context is everything. Eye contact alone isn't enough. You have to notice what else is shifting in that moment. Are her words flowing slower? Is she leaning in? When all these notes come together, her attraction is almost impossible to hide. Most guys either ignore these moments or get lost in their own head. But if you can meet her gaze, hold it, and gift her a quick, confident smile, you send a message without saying a word. I see you. And if there's one thing that fires chemistry, it's two people not rushing, but noticing, understanding, holding their frame. That's the Stoic advantage. Of course, not all signs come through pure sight. Ever notice how, in the middle of a group, a woman's voice turns into a whisper only for you? She'll dip her volume, lean closer, her words slowing down, every syllable now full of weight. It's not just what she's saying, it's how she's saying it. Tone becomes the message, and the moment she lowers her voice, she builds a little private world between you, even if there are people everywhere. It's her way of pulling you closer without risk, without putting herself on the spot. It's a test, and most never realize they're being tested. High-stakes tip: if you hear her softening her tone mid-group, pay close attention. Lean in, drop your own voice, keep the energy intimate. Suddenly there's a shared energy, a spark only you two can feel. That's sign number two. Her desire is speaking through the edges of her words. But it's not just about sound. The next time you're standing at a party and suddenly someone steps in so close you can feel the heat of their arm on yours, that's not random. She could stand anywhere, but she's choosing to break personal space and come into your orbit. When she's interested, her personal space doesn't just shrink, it disappears. She might stand shoulder to shoulder, brush past you a little too long, always finding a way to be closer, even if the room isn't crowded. In psychology, this is everything. People are acutely aware of distance, especially women. When she moves closer and doesn't retreat, she's testing how you react. The worst mistake? Flinching, moving away, or making it awkward. The real move? Hold steady, stay easy, let the closeness speak for itself. When the space between you shrinks and never grows again, you've crossed into new territory. Here's a moment worth millions. You're sitting across a table, talking, and suddenly you realize her hands aren't just practical. She's not just sipping her drink or playing with her phone. She's fidgeting, but not anxious, awkward fidgeting. This is slow, deliberate movement. She's tracing the rim of her glass, twirling her hair, running a finger along the edge of her phone. Sometimes she'll reach out to adjust your collar or brush off a bit of lint, using any excuse for contact. This is the language of her hands, and it's always more honest than her words. You can spot this sign when she mirrors your gestures. You cross your hands, she crosses hers moments later. You shift, she shifts. It's a dance of nerves, anticipation, and she's testing to see if you're tuned in. If she brushes against you, the key is to let it happen. Don't rush it, don't make it a big deal. Instead, be present. When attraction is real, the rhythm of touch escalates, from casual to intentional, to moments where her hand lingers a little too long. That's where the game changes. But there's another giveaway hiding in plain sight: her breath. In a world where attention is scattered, breathing patterns tell the raw truth. Maybe she laughs and then her breath catches, just for a moment. Maybe you say something teasing, and there's that subtle inhale, slow exhale. Sometimes her breathing will sync up with yours, especially when the conversation gets intimate or the space between you shrinks. This mirroring, it's one of the most primal connection points the body can deliver. Sometimes it's quick, sometimes it's slow and deep. But if you pay attention, you'll see a shift right when the tension rises. Still not convinced? Watch what happens the next time she reaches for something. Suddenly she touches your forearm, her knee brushes against yours, her fingers linger on your hand as she passes you something. All seemingly accidental gestures, but repeated just a bit too often to be pure chance. This is the subtle touch. It sounds simple, but it's a universal language. Action without commitment, testing your energy, asking for your reaction. The difference between a friendly tap and an intimate brush isn't always easy to see, but pay attention to two things: how unnecessary the touch is and the location. Is she brushing your lower back as she walks past? Or are her hands staying strictly above the elbows and out of the danger zone? The former is always more telling. And remember, don't overthink, don't pounce. The power is in restraint. If you stay chill, her curiosity starts doing the work. Let's ramp it up. Sometimes the biggest signs are found where men look the least: on her lips. Micro expressions, tiny habits, hidden signals. Maybe she bites her lower lip, traces her tongue across her lips while meeting your gaze, pauses a second too long before answering. Sometimes she moistens her lips right after you say something flirty, or plays with the rim of her cup while looking at you. Most guys disregard this as nothing, but the mouth is one of the body's most expressive zones. It draws in attention, especially in moments charged with energy. When you catch this, stay calm. Acknowledge it with nothing more than a slight smile and a steady look. Lean in just slightly. Don't make it the center of the moment, but let her know you see her seeing you. That's how tension builds naturally, and now you're speaking in the unspoken language of attraction. Ever notice when she can't sit still around you? She's fidgeting, playing with her hair, adjusting her jewelry, tapping her foot, picking at her fingernails. At first glance, it's just nerves, right? But there's a deeper reason. When desire and anticipation are high, the body needs a release, and nervous energy floods the system. Her fidgeting isn't discomfort, it's self-soothing under the weight of attraction, a micro-adrenaline rush her mind can't process any other way. If you stay grounded, calm, collected, it creates a contrast, a polarity that makes her even more drawn in, because you're the steady center of her excitement. And if you want to play at a higher level, notice when her fidgeting ramps up after a shared laugh, an intense stare, or a light brush of your hand on hers. Those syncs aren't random. They're the outward ripples of inner chemistry. The next sign can't be faked and can't be hidden, no matter how hard she tries. Blushing. It's the involuntary confession. Maybe you tease her, the tips of her ears go red, or you give her an honest compliment and see a flush rush across her cheeks. Her eyes glance down. She smiles in a way that tells you she's aware she's been caught. Her body has broadcasted her feelings ahead of her mind's defenses. In those moments, silence is your best tool. You don't need to say, "You're blushing." That only makes her self-conscious and kills the mood. Instead, hold her gaze for just a little longer. Let your own voice get softer, and the unspoken electricity thickens the air. She's wearing her desire on her skin, and by not calling it out, you're letting her stay present in it. Sometimes the most powerful sign isn't in the physical. It's laughter. Not the courtesy laugh, not the social filler. The laughter that bubbles up effortlessly, leaving her breathless, her guard dropped, her entire energy open and reactive. It's laughter that happens not because what you said was objectively hilarious, but because it was you who said it. because of the unique space you two have built. A bubble of connection that lifts her out of every day and pulls her into the moment. Real laughter, the kind that leaves her leaning in, covering her mouth, trying to regain composure, is a mirror into trust, safety, comfort, and, at its core, a deep, swirling undercurrent of desire. You can't force it. It arrives from being authentic, listening, sharing, letting her know you're not just saying words, you're actually connected to her in the moment. Many guys make the mistake here. They try too hard, leaning into jokes, seeking approval, but women are tuned into the energy behind laughter. If she laughs freer, bigger, longer with you, it's not your punchline, it's the chemistry. But let's take it one step further. In all these signs, the real mastery is in how you respond. Signals only mean something if you recognize, acknowledge, and reciprocate with intention, not desperation. The high-value man understands that not every sign is a green light, and not every gesture demands action. Sometimes the most attractive move is a patient, quiet response. The way you hold eye contact after she looks at you, the calm smile after she reaches your personal space, the matched breath after she leans in, the steady awareness the whole time. This is what Stoics knew intuitively. True power comes from observation, from letting the moment unfold while holding on to your presence, your value, your frame. Ancient wisdom meets modern psychology in the way attraction genuinely works. So let's put this into a scenario you might recognize. Imagine two friends, we'll call them Ethan and Jessica. They've always gotten along, but something's changed recently. During their usual chats, Ethan keeps noticing her eyes darting to his lips, her voice lowering when they're surrounded by friends, her shifting closer on the couch for no practical reason at all. He notices when her hand lingers on his elbow in the middle of a joke, or when she fidgets with her necklace every time he leans in. He remembers how, after a shared laugh, a pink glow spread across her cheeks, and she had to glance down to hide it. Every one of these is a sign, and not one is accidental. Ethan's greatest asset isn't a line or a move. It's his patience, his steady presence, his willingness to read and respond, to move forward only as the signs build, never hunting, always holding frame. Want to know why so many guys miss their moment? They're too busy chasing the next thing, too desperate to make something happen. The reality? When you slow down, observe, and own your power, the signs get clearer, the signals stronger. If you ever find yourself lost, wondering if she feels it too, replay these scenes in your mind. Watch her eyes, listen for her whisper, feel how close she lets herself get. Notice the dance of her hands, the rhythm of her breath, the way her body accidentally reaches for yours. See how her laughter changes and her skin betrays her with color. Become a master of presence and everything else will reveal itself quietly, naturally, irresistibly. So what do you do when you spot the signs? 1. Don't rush. Acknowledge each with subtle, confident energy. Sometimes all you need to do is mirror her breathing, lean in slightly, smile with intention, hold the space. Let her curiosity do the work. If she touches, mirror it sometime later. Playful, never desperate. If she closes the distance, orient yourself toward her. If her voice drops, meet it with yours. Every action is an invitation, and the answer isn't always more. It's often simply presence. At the end of the day, the men who stand out aren't the ones who try the hardest or talk the loudest. They're the ones who notice, who create space for tension, for slow build, for real chemistry. The ones who become the puzzle to solve, not the answer given away. So next time you wonder, does she want me? Pay attention to these 10 things. Read her body, not her words. Respond with patience, not need, and watch what unfolds. Because when you move through the world with quiet power, it's not just that you spot attraction, you create it. If you caught yourself nodding through these signs, throw "I see the signs" or "I notice everything" in the comments. Share your experiences, keep building your awareness, and remember, we don't chase, we lead. Here's to every one of you who's ready to notice the truth, trust your frame, and when the right moment comes, move with confidence. Subscribe for more insights and keep your eyes wide open. Your next moment could be closer than you think.